Brothers and sisters, welcome to Media Outspoken. Today we have for you something very annoying, very alarming. It's a terrorist nation. It's all about a terrorist nation in disguise, a wolf in a sheep's clothing. That's how we call it. Never trust them, never trust its people. They are real terrorists. Don't just believe us for what we say. Just see what they have done over the years and just listen to what their secretary to war has to say.
We pray for a deal and we welcome a deal, and we have the ultimate deal maker to make it happen. But in the meantime, as I said yesterday, the Department of War will continue negotiating with bombs.
Our department will continue negotiating with bombs. Not my words, dear. It is by Pete Hegseth, the US Secretary of War. They are trying to show off their power in words. It's okay, let them do it. But why should we tolerate it? Why should we go behind a terrorist nation? See what they have done over the years. They are not doing anything good to humanity, anything good to mankind, or anything good to the world. Invasions, interventions, kidnapping, sanctions, military aid, supporting the rebels, and what more they could do. And they don't want anyone else, any other country to do anything. And they are scared to, of course, because you know what they do? It comes back as a boomerang. Someday it is going to come. Going through what they have done over the years, we can be sure that they have not done anything good to the world, anything good to mankind. Maybe they have done something good to their nation. I don't have any doubt about that. But because you know they always like invade, then what they call attack other countries, then the covert operations, forcing UN for sanctions, unsettling countries, supporting the rebels, giving aid, military aid. All these, you know, these are the things they have been doing over the years, not just 5 years, 10 years. You can even start from, say, the Second World War for the time being. They have a history of, say, 250 years. I believe the formation of US was in 1776. That is nearly 250 years now. And this all these 250 years, they are not done any good to anyone, but for themselves maybe. A natural calamity or disaster like tsunami could take only 200,000 plus. But see what they did. They boast of killing like 300,000 civilians, innocent people, just for ending a war, just not to drag it further. That is simply like what Pete said is correct. They are only for that. They negotiate with bombs. And some people still support them for this. Okay, let us study what they have been doing since 1945, starting from Truman. So in 1945, it was Harry S. Truman. He did the major damage to the world by taking trial of an atomic bomb and a nuclear bomb in Japan in a span less than 4 days. Again, he continued like US involvement in the Korean War. That time, Korean War was all that is also a civil war, and US had nothing to do in it. But of course, they have to. That is their job, right? Then Soviet occupation of the northern Iran. They were again bothered about it. From 5,000 kilometers, 5,000 miles away. Then the Greek Civil War. Yes, of course, that is their job. Then the Berlin crisis in 1948 and the Berlin airlift. He was into this all these in his span or his office of 8 years. What White Eisenhower did during his presidency in 1953 to 1961. Again, see the covert US action in Guatemala and Iran. US military intervention in Lebanon in 1958. Military intervention in Vietnam. Hungarian Revolution, they took actively take part. US begins covert operations against Cuba. See, 34th president. Now to John F. Kennedy, the 35th president. Covert operations against Castro's Cuba, US involvement in Vietnam War, the Berlin Wall crisis in 1961, Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. This really nearly led to a war with Soviet Union. Now let us see what Lyndon B. Johnson did. US involvement in the Vietnam War, US invasion and intervention in the Dominican Republic in 1965, Korean conflict, naval ship of Pueblo off the Korean coast, 6-day Arab-Israel war in 1967. You can see the Arabs were united and Israel was against them, and it's only lasted 6 days. And fortunately, the US supported Israel, right? Great. So that is the 36th president, Lyndon B. Johnson. Going to the 37th president, Richard M. Nixon. US involvement in the Vietnam War, the American North Korean shootdown. Then Arab-Israel War, the Soviet supported Arab states attacked Israel, and US supported Israel. 30th president, Gerald R. Ford, 1974 to 1977. The US involvement in the Vietnam War, the final combat of the Indochina-Vietnam War in May 1975, with the Soviet and the Cuban interventions in Africa, and more. Jimmy Carter, the 39th president. Iran hostage crisis, Soviet and Cuban interventions in Africa. Initiated US assistance to the Afghan resistance. This is very important. US assistance to the Afghan resistance. Okay. US intervention in Lebanon. And you can see covert war in Nicaragua. The 40th president, Ronald Reagan. Let us see what he did during the 8-year span as president. Grenada invasion, removing the Marxist government. Libya bombing, US strikes targeted Tripoli, claiming Libya's involvement in terrorism. Lebanese civil war, Afghan-Soviet war. The CIA supplied billions in weapons to the Mujahideen rebels fighting the Soviet. See, American supported with millions in weapons to the Mujahideen rebels fighting the Soviet Union, then Soviet Union. The Nicaraguan Contras, the administration funded and trained anti-Sandinista rebels, that is Contras in Nicaragua. Cold War escalation, strategic defense initiative to fight or to prepare against the Soviet Union, the Star Wars. This is what he could manage in the 8 year span. And the 41st President, George H.W. Bush, US invasion of Panama in 1989, the Persian Gulf to liberate Kuwait, against Iraq in 1990-91, no-fly zone war in Iraq, US intervention in Somalia. So he also did a good job. Bill Clinton, the 42nd President, US intervention in Somalia, ongoing conflict with Iraq, US invasion of Haiti, Bosnian War, Kosovo War. In 1998, the US embassies in Kenya and Tanzania was attacked, and US retaliation against Al Qaeda in Sudan and Afghanistan, Operation Infinite Reach. The 43rd President, George W. Bush, again no-fly zone war against Iraq, conflict with Al Qaeda, Hainan Island incident, September 11, 2001, the terrorist attack, the war, terrorist attacks in US and war in Afghanistan. The US invaded Afghanistan, and invasion and occupation of Iraq. He managed so much. On to the 44th President, Barack Obama, war in Afghanistan. US withdrew from Iraq in December 2011, conflict with Al Qaeda. Libyan war in 2011, war with ISIS. US aid to France in Mali war. US intervention in Joseph Kony conflict. US intervention in Libyan civil war. US intervention in Yemen civil war. US intervention in Somali civil war. So wherever there is civil war, whichever nation has it, yes, you can rely on Obama. Donald Trump, the 45th President, the war in Afghanistan, the American missile strike on Syria. 46th President, Joe Biden, retaliatory strikes against Iran-backed nations, retaliatory airstrikes on Iraqi military targets, war in Afghanistan, withdrew the American forces, war against ISIS, Al Qaeda and other Islamic groups, Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022. The 47th President, Donald Trump, in his second term as president. 12-day war, June 2025, in support of Israel. The United States launched air attacks on Iran's nuclear facilities. Houthi conflict in Yemen. Ukraine-Russia war continues to support Ukraine. US-Venezuela conflict in 2025. Till date it is going on. The night of January 2-3, that is second night and third early morning in 2026, American forces conducted targeted bombings in Caracas and Venezuelan main island targets. The President Trump announced in the early morning of January 3rd that the US Army Delta Force had captured Venezuelan President Maduro and then taken him out of the country. See, wonderful. This is how it should be done, right? And they say they are noble people. And he deserves as many as 8 or 10 Nobel Prizes for doing such things. On February 28, 2026, the United States and Israel launched a major coordinated air assault on Iran, targeting air defenses, political and government targets, naval bases and ships, Iran nuclear program, and many other targets. And an initial attack by Israel killed Iranian supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khomeini, along with many other Iranian leaders. He managed to kill only, another 200 kids by bombing two schools. Nearly 200 children were dead on the same day. So this is what Donald Trump is all about, and his what do you call, his office bearer Pete says they negotiate with bombs. We have some questions for you. What should one call this nation other than a terrorist nation? You know what the presidents did over the years from 1945 to 2026. The present president, Donald Trump. So from Truman to Trump, did UN ever come up for a noble cause ever since its formation in 1945? If US is above UN, what is the purpose of having such an organization? No need. What is the point in US restricting other countries from being a nuclear power, being the only country to have tried and tested atomic nuclear bombs at will in the First World War? A country who did covert operations, military interventions, invasions, providing military aid to rebels, involving in civil wars of other nations, imposing sanctions in associating with the UN, and all these, making weapons, most destructive weapons. I imagine they tried the nuclear bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945, killing as many as 300,000. A natural calamity like tsunami could take only 200,000 plus. So what they did in a small country like Japan, and why do they restrict other countries from making the nuclear versions, in the sense the nuclear bomb or the atomic bomb? If they can do it, the other countries can also do it. There is a difference. They make it for their defense, and these people, they are offensive about it. They want to attack, they want to invade, they want to provide military aid. So I can tell you one thing, never trust this country, this nation. They are a terrorist nation. We have enough proof of it. They have not done anything good to the world. It is high time we have to check them. We have to just stop them doing this. They are people who try to unsettle. As I said before, make peace to pieces. It is not like, it's like a month back when the Israel and the US attacked Iran. It's just 1 month. They unsettled the whole area. They're not just one country. Now see what is the Middle East now. What is the reason behind it? Why did they attack? They thought they will attack. This is the reason it was provided earlier. They thought Iran would attack Israel, so in advance they attacked. And what is this? What is the role of the US? They are away by at least 5,000 miles or even 6,000 miles. What is their job here? But it is their job. They have done only that throughout their, what you call, right from, I think it is from 1776. They have been doing the same thing here and there. They can make any type of weapons, sell any type of weapons, feed any people, and in the sense, give weapons to others. If that is the case, I think it's like really absurd to say this country is for the good. No, this country cannot do any good, and they are put more than once, like years together. I took from 1945 to say 2026. You saw all the presidents, all of them, covert operations, invasions, involvements, involvements in like many of the civil wars. Either they will be with the ruling team or the opposing team. I mean, the rebels, mostly rebels. This is like, it's like unbelievable, like I don't know why uh, people are, maybe it's like it's a power, it's like the weapons talk. Just like Pete said, the bombs negotiate and the weapon starts talking everywhere. So people, they are scared of their lives. See what happened. See, the war was between Israel, I mean, the US and Israel together against Iran. Now, where does it stop? How many nations are involved directly? And how many are suffering because of this dirty war? A war without a reason. And finally, they are dictating terms, coming out with 15, what you call, an agreement with 15 clauses. Can some other country do it with US? Go to US and do this? No, they only will do this. It's not to be allowed. It's high time to think and stand against this terrorist nation. I repeat, this terrorist nation. They have nothing other than that. You can just, if you want, you can watch the whole video again and decide. These are not from me. These are not from media outspoken. It is the truth, what these people did. Each and every president, not a single one to be like isolated. All of them did the same thing. They just like moved on, moved on, moved on, doing the same thing. And what is Trump doing now? Kidnapping a president of a country and announcing that, he is with me and I will take care of you. And he thought the same thing would happen for the other country, like Iran also. And see what he did in Iran. The negotiations were on. I'm sorry, the negotiations, like what Pete had said. And in between, they attacked Iran, killed their supreme leaders, and then 40 other officials, and nearly 200 kids to add by attacking a school. No, not one, two schools. This is what they did, and they continue doing damage to them. Fortunately, Iran is able to like retaliate in a proper way. God bless them. That's all I can tell you. But never trust these people. They aren't good, they aren't true, they are all fake. Cannot be trusted. You cannot expect anything good from them. It's from the past experience. It is not from media outspoken or myself. It is simply the truth. US will definitely get good returns for what they did to the whole world. It will come back. It will come back like a boomerang. This is not forgivable. No human being can forgive all this. No country can forgive this. I'm worried about like the Middle East. It is like it was going smooth. Most of the countries were, like the countries were peace reigned supreme. Now it's all unsettled. And this is the intention of US. And that is why they, together with Israel, they attacked Iran. And they know the situation, like the situation the other Middle East countries are in. They are against Israel, but for US because of the US bases. Only because of that. You might have listened to what Trump said about MBS, that is Mohammed bin Sultan of Saudi Arabia. A comment by a leader about another leader. We have to feel pity for this nation, the pity for these leaders. How can a leader be such? How can they go down to this level using filthy language? It will come back. It will come back. Doesn't take much time. Even now they are in the wrong track. God will definitely answer them for all that they have done. Killing the innocent, coming up with allegations, claims, which doesn't stand, which doesn't have any logic, and fighting a nation for no reason. Now for the homo straight, what they want? They want only that. All the other things, now they know that there is business hidden in there. They can tax other countries if they occupy that region. No other. They don't want anything from Iran. Let them do whatever they like because Iran will also have to pay tax to US if they are going to be in charge of it. See, this is a dirty invasion. It is not just supporting Israel. See, in supporting Israel in this war, they have done two things. They have spoiled the Arab unity. They have damaged it to the core. They are not united anymore. They are under the same umbrella, the US. It is high time to come out of this umbrella. They have to come out because this can happen to any country. All of a sudden, being attacked, like the supreme leader is gone. This can happen even to US. But time will answer all those. But this is very important. You have to identify, like you have been. See, a country is not like Iran has a history of more than 5,000 years. It's past like BC 3000, whereas US has got only 250 years. They don't have anything to boast of. Iran has everything. So think, decide. Please share your comments. Help us come up with more interesting, not interesting, serious issues, which is like very informative. We will keep you updated with the latest things as always. Thank you. God bless you.